What is up, fellas? Wild Bill had a root canal at 1 p.m. That wasn't all that long ago for you. You must still be feeling pretty good. How's everybody doing tonight? It is episode number 71. It is another Monday, Air Marshal Mondays. Hooray! Let's say hi to all the fine people that are here with us tonight. We got RC Gloria in the house, Boss 223, Reed Smith, Plains Archery and Table Tennis, David Martin Graff, Shadow Ops RC, Wild Bill JCB 67, Victor Shamulus, Tony Spears. What is going on? Good to see you tonight. Hope to see you down in Florida in a few days. I got some products I want to show you guys tonight, and I got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. So, Mary Boozer RC, what is happening, Wesley? So, number one thing tonight, we got the Pilot Ryan all-electric fly-in that is happening at the Imperial RC Club in Mulberry, Florida. That is happening starting Wednesday all the way through Sunday. If you can make it down there, then try to get down there. I'm going to be heading down there on Friday morning and spending Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with the folks. Ryan is going to be there on Wednesday morning. I'm sure that the Boozers are going to be there. RC Informer. We got several folks from all over the Southeast that are showing up. It's going to be a great time. So if you're in the area, if you're in Florida, be sure to head down to Mulberry, Florida, and come visit us at the Imperial RC Club in Mulberry for the Pilot Ryan all-electric fly-in. It's going to be a great time. Awesome, man. Wesley, it's going to be a fun time. Don't forget my... Hey, it's Amy Marshall. I know her. Don't forget to come on down and bring, happy things like pajama pants, wing spars, helicopters. David Martin Graff, the runway at Rosewood RC Club up in Indiana, where they hold Jet Jam, is 800 feet by I think 50 feet. So yeah, they got Imperial beat. That's a huge runway. Tom Butler, what's going on? Let me add some wrenches to some fine folks. Defrost 42371 8675309. How you doing? So listen, there were some Cheap Trick airplane. Hell no, this is a Van Halen airplane. So, man, I was going to say something, and it totally slipped my mind. I done forgot it. That's cool. So Jeff in Lower Alabama will be down there in Mulberry. Come visit us if you're in the area, man. It's gonna be a great time. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have the Van Halen playing. This thing is just about ready to go. I need to add a battery tray and hog out the canopy because the battery won't fit in there. The canopy won't close with the battery in there right now. So I got to add a battery tray with a strap so it won't slide all over the place because the CG is pretty critical on this airplane. And but other than that, this thing is ready to rock and roll. I got the motor mounted. I found a nice Dubro spinner. It's a 2.5-inch spinner instead of 3-inch. The 3-inch probably would have been a little bit better, but the 2.5-inch is really good. It is much better than the Dynam spinner that was on there. When I crank it up to full thrust now, I can run it, and it doesn't feel like the plane is going to rattle apart. So I've got the prop, the spinners balanced, everything is good to go. So we're pretty much done. And for those of you guys that have not seen the end result of the paint job, we still got some decals we need to put on it. But I want to show this baby off, man. This thing is awesome. I painted it in the scheme of Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstein guitar. Someone made that suggestion to paint it to look like Frankenstein because it's kind of a Frankenstein airplane, right? We got the Dynam P-51 airframe. Inside, we've got a free-wing 130 amp ESC. We've got the motor from an E-Flight V1200. We've got the servos from an E-Flight Havoc. I mean, there are parts and pieces from all kinds of different planes to make this one. All just stuff that I had laying around. So the end result is this awesome, Eddie Van Halen, Frankenstein themed airplane. And for those of you guys that are familiar with Eddie Van Halen's guitars and kind of the evolution of those guitars over time. So here's how those guitars went down. The original guitar that was featured on the cover of the Van Halen 1 album was white with black stripes. So that is what we have represented on the bottom of the airplane. So the bottom of the airplane is white with black stripes, just like the original Van Halen 1 version of the Frankenstein guitar. After that, he went and painted it a couple years later to the classic red with white and black stripes. It was the same exact guitar. So this is representative of a couple of different iterations of Eddie Van Halen's guitars, which are pretty freaking slick. So I'm really happy with the end result. As far as the paint, I mean, there's a lot of imperfections in it, but when it comes to that particular guitar, it was not perfect by any means. So while I got this thing off the stand, I want to talk about this thing too. All right, we got some Ernst stands. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. All right, for those of you guys, and before I talk about this thing, I want to give a big shout out to, thanks Guniac. I want to give a big shout out to the folks at the Birmingham RC Association. It's a club in the northwestern section of the Birmingham, metro area. It's an awesome club. I got to go there last weekend to a fly-in event that they were hosting, and they invited me as a special guest. They treated me fantastic. That is a gorgeous club. And we got to do a lot of flying. I got to maiden the DRACO. I got to maiden the Flightline Spitfire. That thing is amazing. I love that Spitfire. What an awesome plane, the 1600. Yeah, Jeff, I think you were down. I think that you were down at the beach, maybe. But I had thought about it. I was like, man, we should get Jeff in Lower Alabama to come up to Jeff and be Jeff in Upper Alabama for a day. Yeah, that would have been cool, man. Let's see. So, those guys are awesome. So, Scott Settle, was the guy who invited me. He's awesome. I got to meet a bunch of the guys at the club. There's some of them that have joined the channel since then. What a great group of guys, man. What a great group of folks. And we also were treated to some awesome flying from one of the Horizon sponsored, so the Horizon team pilots who was there doing some of his IMAC practice. I mean, that was incredible. I think that guy's name was David. Yeah, Wesley, we got the old F-16 back together again. This thing is rocking and rolling. So the third day RC, the battery I was flying in the Spitfire, I was flying 5,000 milliamp HRB 6S. I may take the old F-16 down to the Mary Boozer event and see how she does. She's got the high performance motor in her, and she should be rocking and rolling. Tony Spears was another one of the guys that was down at the, he is part of the Birmingham RC Association, and was part of the folks that was the greeting team, if you will, for when I arrived. Just a class act. All those guys down there, fantastic. And, you know, I want to say the name of it was the Bigfoot Fly-In. Hopefully they won't do it at the same time as CEF next year, and we can turn that into a much bigger event than it is already, because I'll tell you what, their flying facility is absolutely fantastic. The food was great. They had a taco truck come down, even though it was Saturday. That's okay. I'll eat tacos on any day, including Tuesday. And they were great. They had vendor support from and sponsorship from a hobby shop in Hoover, Alabama, that I want to give a big shout out to, called the Hobby Box. I know that some of you are familiar with the Hobby Box, and that's funny. So the Hobby Box is awesome. And the thing that I really like about them is because they stock their own inventory, they don't drop ship from Horizon, and they don't, you know, they're not picking from a distributor. You know, they go and they source these models and they sell them in-house, right? So they don't have like a huge following, which means that they have a lot of models there that have been discontinued. And they're one of those kinds of hobby shops, right? Where they've got stuff like hidden gems. One of the things that I was able to find at the fly-in was this FMS stand, you know. And for those of you that are familiar with this stand, these are not the easiest things in the world to get your hands on when they're not in stock. These have been out of stock for a long time at a lot of different places. So I was able to pick one up at the fly-in event, and this thing is fantastic. I love this stand. I've wanted one for a long time. I think I saw one, it may have been at Jet Jam last year, and I've been trying to pick one up ever since, and they're always out of stock. And I go to this fly-in event in Alabama, and wouldn't you know, the Hobby Box has 3 of them sitting there. And I'll tell you, when I went to buy mine, all 3 of them sold immediately. So I was lucky to get one, but now I have one. And the guy had all kinds of stuff. You know, he had Carbon ZT-28s that are sold out and discontinued now. I mean, if you're looking for something in particular, give them a call. And you can look it up on Google. It's the Hobby Box. The owner's name is Jeremy. So give them a call. No affiliate links, nothing like that. They're just a great group of folks, and they will hook you up. They've got IX-20s. Horizon doesn't even have IX-20s. Well, maybe they do. I think they're back in stock now. All right. Well, the canopy's not going to stay on it. That's okay. We'll just take that off. Yep. F.U. Kenny, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, so those stands are awesome. If you can find one, pick one up. They are absolutely fantastic. Which brings us to these other stands that I kind of want to show off. And I really want to, and look, we've got them, you've seen them on all kinds of different channels now, but if you haven't, I wanted to take a second to point your attention to a couple of really cool things that we're going to be using later on in the show tonight. This is the Ernst tray. So the same Ernst that makes the Ernst stands. So here we've got the Ernst Ultra stand and the Ernst Mega stands. These things are awesome, really simple to break down. You know, at one point I was a big believer in like the PVC stands, you know, but these are well packaged. They're made right here in America. They're easy to break down. You just pop the little legs out, and all this stuff is like modular. You know, so all these things kind of stack on top of each other. These bottom trays are stackable and interchangeable. So one of the things that I really like about it is I was building a fairly large airplane over the past week that we can't talk about right now, but you'll see it if you come to the Pilot Ryan All Electric Fly-In in Florida. You'll get to see some brand new product that is going to be coming your way soon from BitGo Hobby. So one of the things that I was digging about this though is I couldn't, you know, because the way the front landing gear was configured, I couldn't have the big, you know, mega stand on the front of the airplane. So I had the front sitting in the legs and the support of one of the Ultra stands, and I had the back of the plane resting in the mega stand. So they are interchangeable, the legs on them, and you can configure it whatever way you want. And like I was saying, you know, once you get it all broken down, the bottoms of these stands will all stack on top of each other. You know, so these guys all stack on top of each other. They're very easy to transport, very easy to break down. In my opinion, quite a bit easier than like the PVC stands that you have to twist and turn and do all kinds of weird stuff to them. You just pop in your legs and you are good to go. And these guys are available at BitGo Hobby, and you all know where to go to get the BitGo. Head on over to rcairmarshal.com, go to BitGo Hobby, and you can find all of the Ernst stands, like the Ultra stand and the Mega stand, in a variety of different colors, including down to 02. Dang it, man. So they've got this this crazy, you know, high test yellow. They've got red, blue, all kinds of different colors. So head on over to visit our friends at BitGo Hobby by going to rcairmarshal.com and clicking on that BitGo link, and you can find yourself all of these awesome Ernst park trays and Ernst stands available today. Yeah, even at $35, I think they're still worth it, man. They're awesome. Yeah, at least she can't hear you right now. I don't, you know, I apologize. I thought I had turned that lady off, but she's still, you know, blabbing. Awesome. So Airvexed RC just picked up the Mega Stand the other day. Yeah, Eddie's guitar was missing a couple of pickups. That's a good point. So we may not even put the canopy on the plane. That's less drag, man. We don't need all of that. So good to see you, GB. Nate, how you doing, buddy? KBRC, that sucks, man. Rich M, good to see you, buddy. All right, so I wanted to give a big shout out to Rich M as well. As you guys know, we did a large collection and fundraiser to get a DRACO. You know, we were going to do like the DRACO Ultimate Combo for our buddy Lyndon Stewart, who lives down in Guyana, South America. You know, we're still going to accept donations for that because, you know, we still haven't quite settled or we haven't figured out exactly what the final shipping cost is going to be. But I want to say that thanks to your donations, we were able to go above and beyond the ultimate package, and we were able to get something a little better, in my opinion. So what we were able to get, and these products are already purchased, they're on order, but obviously they haven't shipped yet. So we were able to get Lyndon, through the generous donations of the RC Air Marshal community and everybody that watches the show, we were able to pick up a DRACO. Instead of an NX8, we were able to get him an NX10. Instead of the S1200 charger that comes with the Ultimate Combo, we're going to be sending him an S2200 smart charger, which is the 2-channel, 200 watts per channel, or 380 watts into a single channel. So he'll be able to charge up those 6S batteries, no problem. And we also got him a 2 6S 5000 milliamp hour 50C G2 smart packs, which is awesome. So we were able to get all of that through the generous donations of everybody here. And Rich M is going to be providing what is no doubt one of the most critical pieces of all of this. So the shipping agent, the way that we have to get this down to South America is through what's called a shipping forwarder. All right. And the shipping forwarder that Lyndon uses is down in Miami. Well, it just so happens that one of our community members, Rich M, he lives down in Fort Lauderdale and works in the Miami area. Actually, he's kind of between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, right? So he has graciously offered to act as the staging area as these parts come in stock and get sent. We're having all of these parts and pieces. So the radio, the batteries, the charger, the airplane is all getting sent down to Rich M's house. He's going to take all that stuff, repackage it for international shipping, and take it on to the shipping forwarder for us. And that means that we can have Horizon just ship everything to Rich. So that'll get it down there for free because it's all Horizon free shipping. And that's awesome. So a huge thanks to Rich M. And everybody should give him a huge round of emojis because Rich M being able to do that for us chops a huge amount of the expense of the shipping off the table, right? So we're not going to need to pay for shipping from Atlanta down to Miami. So that's awesome. Jeff in Lower Alabama, that's cool. So it sounds like they've got the second order of DRACOs in, maybe. And what I'll tell you, Jeff in Lower Alabama, man, for those of you guys that don't have a DRACO yet, that you're still waiting, listen. If you've been waiting this long, you can wait a little bit longer, man. That airplane is awesome. It is awesome. There's going to be naysayers out there that are going to be like, it's an oversized, overpriced trainer, whatever. Until you get your hands on one, don't listen to the critics. You got to judge for yourself. So just trust me when I say you've got to try it for yourself. Don't listen to the people that are like, the DRACO sucks, the landing gear's weak, whatever. They're pounding it in too hard. People are trying to pretend like this thing, yes, it's still a model. It still is delicate. Is it tough as nails? Of course. It is a tough airplane, but you can't slam the thing into the runway and think that it's going to survive that, man. But it's bad to the bone, man. I love that plane. So, if you're a fan of the DRACO, if you like stall planes, wait. Get your hands on it. If you don't like it, you're going to be able to sell it. I promise you. somebody that doesn't feel like ordering it and waiting forever, somebody will buy it. You'll be able to get your money back. Don't worry. But wait for it. Just give it a chance, man. Give it a chance. Look, I apologize. All the people that are asking if I found the prop nut. Yes, I didn't find the original prop nut. But what I did find is our True Value, or not True Value, our Ace Hardware stocks a huge number of metric hardware. They've got a large assortment of metric hardware, and they had the M8 by 1.25 pitch nuts, and I bought like a handful of them. So I've got a ton of prop nuts that will fit the Draco now. The original prop nut, that thing is gone. Man, I promise you, that thing is gone. I cleaned up the workspace today in preparation for the show. I swept, I mopped, I got... Man, I've looked all over. That thing it got eaten. The floor ate it. Yeah, and listen, Gooniac, man, I appreciate that. The Draco's not for everybody, guys, but for people that enjoy stall airplanes, that like that big high wing, if you enjoy flying Cubs, carbon Cubs, something like the Husky, something like the Bigfoot, the Draco is right up your alley, and it's different enough that it's enjoyable. Oh, Mickey B, yeah, that thing, I was recording at the time that it dropped on the floor, but, what's recording is exactly what you see here. It was off on this side of the table, and it fell down, it hit the floor, I heard it hit something metal, I heard a little tink, but that thing has just vaporized. I've looked everywhere in this room, it is nowhere to be found. I have no idea what happened to it. It's not like the cat ate it. I probably would have found it in his litter box because I doubt he can digest aluminum. Who knows what happened to it, man. That thing is gone. Yep, so, I think for people that like that kind of airplane, you're really going to enjoy it. So give it a chance. Keep your pre-order. If you don't like it, sell it. Fair enough. All right. Man, we got a lot to talk about. And I have an airplane to build. I got a special surprise for you guys under the desk. But I do want to talk about a couple more things. I think I've covered everything. We talked about the Alabama fly-in. We talked about the Ernst stands. We've talked about the FMS Stand. We've talked about the Hobby Box, who's awesome, and you should check him out. The Hobby Box. We've talked about Frankenstein Mustang. I want to cover real quick. I've got a couple of, these are, oldies but goodies, right? So there's still a bunch of these things available. If you're not really into, drones or whatever, that's fine. But I've got a couple of little quads here, and these were, kind of an experiment by Detram. And to be honest with you, they're kind of knockoffs. So a company named Immersion RC made an Immersion RC Vortex 150 and Vortex 250, and I think they made a Vortex 250 Pro, and those quads looked exactly like these, right? So I don't know what happened, how Detram got a hold of the designs, whatever, China stuff. But Detram, Dynam, made a couple of drones. They've discontinued them, but these guys are still available at BitGo. So if you're interested in picking up either the 3-inch, so this is the Tom B, Detram Tom B 150. It's a little 3-inch drone. And this is the Detram Tom B 250. Both of them are 4S capable race drones. They are running, standard. I think it's a 200 milliwatt VTX that's built in here. It is analog. I have put Radiomaster R81 micro receivers in both of these. And I don't know if you can see them or not. I'll show you my the little rigs that I have set up for the antennas. Oh, BD Tennessee, it is the model box. Man, I'm an idiot. It's not the hobby box, guys. It's the model box. I am sorry. BD Tennessee, you are correct. All right, so if you can see this, this is the little 3-inch Tom B. And what I want to show you is, what I've done for the antennas. So this is a little, trick. Man, it's hard to see because I got a black shirt on. But if you see these two little black whips that are pointing forward or pointing down here, here and here, what those are is just tie wraps, and I've got the antennas heat shrinked onto the those zip ties. So you can see them there on this one. That way they won't interfere with the props, and you still get, good separation on those antennas, and should be able to get good reception. And you get the antennas away from the carbon fiber too, so you won't get interference from the carbon fiber. And I did the same thing on the 5-inch Tom B as well, where you've got the two antennas here and here. And these are both bound up to my Radiomaster TX16S using the Radiomaster R81 micro receivers. They are fantastic. The only thing to keep in mind is they use an older version of Clean Flight. So you will need to get an older version of the Clean Flight configurator to program them and the boards in them, because they're not, these are not they weren't made yesterday. So there's not a lot of upgrades that you can do to them. You could install Betaflight on them and unlock, some of the features of them, but they have F3 boards, F3 flight controllers, so they can't handle as much as, like the modern F7 boards and H7 boards. So just keep that in mind. It's a cheap pre-built drone just to have some fun with. This one actually hauls the mail on 4S, the 5-inch version. They're fun. They're fun. They're kind of old school, and they're just a good time. They've been discontinued, so you can probably get a good deal on them if you ask. But those are available at BitGo. Head on over to rcairmarshal.com. Click on the BitGo link if you're looking for a pre-made kind of old school quad that runs on the F3 style flight controllers. And if you're looking for help on how to get them set up, I've just done it here in the recent past. So you can go over to rcairmarshal.com, click on the contact button on the website, and you can send an email to me, and I can give you a hand setting up Clean Flight on your receivers. Nice, Shadow. He's going to be getting the Eachine drone. David, yourself, what's going on, buddy? All right, I'm just going back through the chat. Mary Boozer, so far I have not flown that F-15. And I don't know that I want to yet. I want to get the high performance motor before I try to put it in the air. Awesome. So David yourself is going to be down at the fly-in. If you guys want to meet David yourself, if you want to meet me, if you want to meet Pilot Ryan, if you want to meet Bobby K, Jeff in Lower Alabama, the Mary Boozers, RC Informer, there's so much good stuff happening at the Pilot Ryan All-Electric Fly-In in Mulberry, Florida. So make sure that if you're in the area, you find a way to get down there. This was going to be Joe Nall week. Joe Nall's not happening. We're doing the Pilot Ryan All-Electric Fly-In instead, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, BD Tennessee, right now the F-15 has the original Outrunner motor from like the first run of F-15s. It is not 8S, it is the original 6S Outrunner, and it's just doesn't have very much thrust at all. So I want to get the 1900 kV in-runner high performance model motor for that guy before I try to put it in the air. Just to have a little bit of extra thrust and fly that thing around. Yep, Mary Boozer's going to have my old E-Flight P51 Mustang at the Pilot Ryan fly-in. I will have my new Spitfire at the Pilot Ryan fly-in. We've got a very special new model that may be getting previewed or announced for the first time at the Pilot Ryan All-Electric Fly-In. So make sure you're checking throughout the week for live streams, for special announcements and things like that. We've got a really nice product that's going to be selling at BitGo Hobby. I can't tell you what it is. Some of you guys have seen it if you've been in our Zoom sessions on Fridays. BitGo Bobby has given people a little bit of a sneak preview. I've shared a little bit of what we're doing. I've got it completed now. It is ready to fly. The people that have seen it have been super impressed with it, and I think that when you guys see it, you are absolutely going to fall in love with this airplane when you see it fly. Just sitting on the ground, it is impressive, but the flight performance is also fantastic. So be sure that you're, keeping an eye out for the BitGo channel. If you're not subscribed to the BitGo Hobby YouTube channel, subscribe to them. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Pilot Ryan. Subscribe to the Mary Boozers. Subscribe to RC Informer. Subscribe to Jeff in Lower Alabama. These videos are going to be out there, and when this thing is released, this is something that people are going to want. So be sure to watch for those announcements. All right. Jeff Adams, good to see you, sir. Can I give you a hint? Is it a prop or an EDF? It is not a jet. It does not use jet propulsion. And it's extremely nice. I think that everybody that sees it is just going to fall in love with it. It is awesome. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome airplane. Che Hamilton, what's going on, sir? Good to see you tonight. So, hey, I think we've covered everything. We've covered the urge stands. We've covered all this stuff. I need to see how much time do we have left. It is 8:39, which means that we have an hour and 20 minutes, and I want to try to get in one final airplane that I'm going to be bringing down. I got my line of coke. Y'all know how it rolls. All right. So I'm going to get these drones off the table. I'm going to get at least, I don't think I need the Mega Stand. So we're going to move the Mega Stand. I'm going to leave the Ultra Stand, and I'm going to leave my tray. Move my keyboard out the way, because we have a special unboxing. Now what I'm going to be unboxing tonight, this is not a brand new model, but it's brand new to me. I want to unbox it. I want to build it for you guys. So for anybody that is interested, we have a brand new car. It is the E-Flight Twin Otter. Now I'll tell you, when this thing first came out, I was like, that's silly. Not even remotely interested in the E-Flight Twin Otter. But the more I see them, the more I like them, man. These are neat little airplanes. They're small and, you know, they come with the floats. I wanted something that was a little bigger than UMX, but not quite as big as the Husky. So the Husky, now that I've got the DRACO, the Husky is now permanently on its floats. And the Twin Otter, I'm going to be building on wheels so I can take it down to the Pilot Ryan fly-in, but when it gets back, it is going to go on floats too. So I'm going to have the UMX Turbo Timber on floats, the Twin Otter on floats, and the Husky on floats for when our club does the float flies at our lake that is right down the street from my house. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this thing open and see what is in the box. Twin Otter. So, as some people affectionately call the Twatter, which is such a what a terrible name for a model. It's the Twatter. All right, we've got our little baby wing. We've got our little baby fuselage. Oh, it smells like a brand new plane. Y'all know the smell I'm talking about. Brand new airplane smell. We're going to set that right on our Ernst Ultra stand here. How convenient and awesome. This is the newer version of the Twin Otter, and it is outfitted with the Spectrum AR631 receiver, which is slick. I like that they included that. We've got our tiny little baby elevator. It does include the floats, which we will be putting on when we get back from Florida. Right here, this is what I'm assuming is the control rod for the water rudder, which is on the back of one of the floats here. And I like that the floats are kind of done up, you know, with some graphics on the side, so that's a nice little touch. All right, and in here we've got all of our hardware and our props. So I'll tell you, one of the things that I absolutely love, oh man, how satisfying a sound is that. Yeah. A little bit of tape rippage. Get off my manual, man. I just want my dang props. Let go. Oh, it already says on the manual, instead of printing a new manual, they just made a sticker for this manual that says, this manual is already out of date. Go online and look at the new one. Awesome. So I want to make sure that we don't have anything else in the box here. Got nothing on the bottom. So this should be all of the little parts and pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting stuff into our little Ernst tray. Filling up the Ernst tray with parts and pieces that we're going to be using. All Alright, so that looks like some main landing gear. Main landing gear brackets. This looks like the front gear, more little brackets. More little brackets. I'm sure that all of these little wire struts are for the float set when I am ready to put the floats on. So we can keep all that stuff handy for after I get back from Florida. We've got what I believe are some strut covers. We got some screws. And right now I'm not looking at the chat, guys. I apologize, but I will look at that here shortly and go back and see what everybody's saying. Arr! Ripping into some plastic. We got us a zip tie. More little plastic bits. Lots of little plastic bits. Lots and lots of little plastic bits. Okay. So I think we got everything out of the box. We got some right and left, what look like, you know, like wheel strut skirts or something like that. I believe these guys go into the horizontal stab. You know, they're like little I don't know what you'd call those things. More little strut deals. I think these go onto the wings. These are like wing struts, I believe, that pop into the side of the fuse. We will see shortly what that's all about. And then I got a whole bunch of screws. So that is very nice. We're going to go ahead and open that up and get these screws into the tray. And then the last thing we'll open up is our props and spinners. So we got the two propellers, the two spinners, and what look like the spinner nuts. These propeller, I love these little propellers on the Twin Otter. And we'll set those aside as well. We'll put the spinners in here as well as the spinner nuts. Here's a wing nut. Alright guys, so inside my little Ernst part tray, I've got all the parts that I'm going to need for the assembly of the Twin Otter, and they're not going to roll around on my desk. I mean, how convenient is that? That's awesome. So we're going to take the rudders, or the rudders, we're going to take the floats and just set them off to the side, as well as the linkage for the steering. We're going to set that off to the side as well, because we're going to be building it for a ground configuration for now. Alright, so I want to go back through the chat here, see what the folks are saying. Oh, Danny Murphy, man, that's terrible. EQRC, that is awesome. Hope you have fun, man. Dave is quite the character. Danny Murphy, man. Sorry to hear that, dude. You had a lot of bad things all happen real quick. So TNRC, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate everybody's concern about the prop nuts on the Twin Otter. Yep. So we're definitely gonna hold on to the. Dang, Dana, it's snowing in Colorado. That's crazy. We're going to hold on to the prop nuts. Now that I got my tray in full effect, we shouldn't be losing prop nuts anymore. I'll put the prop nuts immediately into the tray. Deuce is wild. I'm in. If that's how Hobbytown wants to roll, hey, man, sign me up. All right. So, landing gear assembly. I know, man. I busted out a book. Terrible. I'm a terrible human. So what do we got here? I'm going to get my little toolkit. This is probably all we need to do the whole assembly. So it wants us to take off this little cover. Oh man. This cover's tricky. All right, I got it. This thing is actually constructed pretty well. It's got nice plywood on the inside. So down here in the bottom where the landing gear mounts to the fuselage, that's plywood right there. So the screws are going to take a nice bite into that plywood. So that's fantastic. Okay. So it looks like we're using, is it that piece? So this little guy right here, this points to the back. We can go ahead and slide that on there. All right, I get it, I get it. Then we've got 4 little covers that go on those brackets. So the nice thing about this Twin Otter, guys, is all the screws are the same. So you don't have to like search around in the bag for like, which screw do I use for this? All the screws are the same, right? So if it tells you need to screw something in, you know what screws, you know what size screw you need. Okay. So, Amy hasn't seen this yet, but when she does, she's probably going to be like, that's my airplane. Amy so far has been a big fan of the general aviation planes, more so than like the military jets, you know? Big O Bobby, this is a nice tray and stand. And I've been talking them up. So, Big O Bobby committed in the house. If you guys are seeing, you know, this Ernst Ultra stand, or the Ernst Mega stand that we had earlier, or the parts tray that we've got over here, all of these are available at Big O Hobby. You can get yours today. Go to rcairmarshal.com, click on that Big O Hobby link, and grab yourself an Ernst stand. And if you guys are interested in picking up one of these fancy E-Flight twin otters, these are the new edition. They now have the AR631 receiver in there instead of the old AR636. So this is a forward programming capable receiver. It does not have the Spectrum Smart ESCs, because one thing that I've been, you know, kind of bugging them about is, hey, when are you going to give us a smart ESC that can do twin motors? All right, I'm not sure, you know, what the status is on that at this time, but at least as of right now, you can't hook up two smart ESCs and be able to get telemetry off of both of them at the same time. That'd be cool if they can figure that out. Alright, so we got the main gear on. Let's see, here's the front gear. Which side? I wonder if it matters. It is showing the wheel hub. Oh, there we go. So there's a set screw. And everything on this is Phillips head, right? No hex screws. It's all Phillips. So even the little grub screw, the little set screw here for the front steering gear is a Phillips head screw. Alright, so the landing gear is on. Front gear and rudder linkage is working. Alright, so what do we got in here? Well, we've definitely got our... Okay, so I think that may go to some lights up front. Oh, check it out. Yeah, there's our battery tray. Alright, cool. So we do have a binding plug here if you want to use like a traditional bind plug, but the AR631 doesn't need it. So we may pull that wire, but for now we'll go ahead and leave that in there. I've got extensions for my throttle, my aileron, and this goes to the flaps and LEDs. So apparently we've got some lights on the wings. Yep, we sure do. Cool. So everything is wide up on the wings. Now before we start doing the wing, I'm going to go ahead and install the horizontal stab. Just going to exercise that that elevator linkage a little bit. I'm going to grab a little bit of glue. Let's see, what am I going to go with? Let's go with some Slow Zap. Slow Zap CA. For putting these little guys on. And those are just going to slide in from the top and lock into place. We'll put a couple of dabs. No! I usually take such good care to not get my my glue bottle stopped up, but sometimes no matter how hard you try, you're gonna get a glue bottle that ends up being a pain in the butt. That's all right. I got more. This one's good to go. This is some medium CA. It cures a little bit quicker, but that's okay. We already got our part ready to go. Whoop. All right, so that's one. Oh, you know what? I should slide this through before I put on the other one. That would have been a bad day. And funny. Little dabs of glue. We'll slide on that other, like, kind of like a little ventral fin almost. All right, good to go. So we got both of those in. Flip the plane upside down and we'll go ahead and screw those down. So I'm sure it uses the same screws that we use everywhere else. Put the glue top back on. All right, let's look at the chat. That's funny. I'm glad that there were some people watching. Man, Bobby, this is EPO foam, baby. It's not going to melt from a little bit of medium CA. Uh-oh. Yes. Yeah, that was... I almost had a mishap. So, for those of y'all that didn't know, there is foam safe CA out there, right? If you're getting the Zap stuff, it'll just say foam safe on it. If you're getting the Bob Smith CA, the Bob Smith CA that is foam safe has a gold label instead of, you know, their traditional, like purple is their medium. I think, I don't remember, like the light. You know, I think it's like blue, purple, and some other color. Anyway, so Bob Smith CA, gold label for foam safe. If you're using Zap CA, it just says foam safe CA, and typically the price is a lot higher. All right, that CA, the foam safe stuff, is for if you're using like EPS, styrofoam. EPO is typically not going to be affected by CA glues and solvents. You know, so typically with EPO, or yeah, EPO foam, you can use solvent-based spray paints and things like that. You always want to test, but you know, you are typically able to get away with it. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, so we've got the horizontal stab ready to go. Heck, I think we're ready to throw down. I think I can bind this up and throw a battery up in here. Look, here's a 3S 2200. You know what I'm going to do just for giggles? I'm going to create a new model in my NX10. I'm going to add it from add new bind and fly, and I'm going to look for the E-Flight twin otter. What's the number on this thing? Can I bag it? It's probably on the box somewhere. Who knows what the number is? 30050. I actually think it's 300500. E-Flight twin otter. Booyah. Twin otter, SPM, import, do it. Sweet, twin otter, ready to roll. So I'm going to go ahead and strap in a battery. Now, it's going to be a little weird because we need to have the wing on really before we do that, but I want to have everything centered up before we strap the wing on. Actually, the way this thing is built, I don't really need to worry about all that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just undo all my stuff here. And get it all hooked up and ready to rock. Let's see. This one goes to ailerons. Boom. This one goes to fapping. So that's our fap connection. Fapping engaged for the twatter. Get in there. There we go. This one is for LED lights. And this one is for the ESCs. Okay. Everything is in. We brought that battery lead up to the battery compartment on the front of the plane, which is on the top. It is not a bottom loader. That is nice. And the whole wing just kind of slides in to two little holes in the front. We'll get all that stuff tucked in and out of the way. Alright, so that is in, and we have a single screw here that goes into the top. Just a single thumb screw. Tighten that up, and the Twin Otter wing is now fully engaged. And that really sucks, because I still need to press the button on the receiver to get it into the mode that I want it to be on. Dang it, man. Alright, so now we're going to hook it up to our battery. Put that wing out of there. Alright, so what we're doing is for safe select, I'm pressing the button and holding it down. And I'm going to hold the bind button on the radio and fire it up. Alright, so it is now bound up. I don't know what that beeping's all about, but we'll figure that out here in a bit. Get the wing back on. Alright, so there we go, the Twin Otter. We'll go and fire that thing back up and see if we still got that crazy beeping going on. quad servo. Ain't that a mother trucker? Oh well. Boy, these prop nuts are special. One is green and one is red, which would represent the port and starboard sides. Green is the right nut, red is the left nut. Okay. Twin otter props. We're good to go. We'll get those tightened up here. Find our spinners and go ahead and get the spinners in place. And then the thing that everybody wants to see with the twin otter, we will show you here in just a second, because I know everybody wants to see the props moving, because I know I love it when the props are moving on the twin otter. That just makes me happy. Oh, look at this. You got to have a nice skinny screwdriver to get down over the top of those spinners. Interesting. All right. There's one spinner engaged. Number 2 spinner engaged. All right, now we have all of the things done. Yes. So pretty quick assembly. And my favorite part, of the twin otter, can y'all see him? We got thrust on both sides. It's doing its thing. I love the propellers on this thing. It is so cool. So we got counter-rotating propellers, which is awesome. The flaps are already set up for us. Everything should already be ready to rock. I do want to figure out why I've got a twitchy servo over here, but the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go in here and figure out where they have my I'm going to change the gear channel over to a different switch. So we're going to go into system setup, channel assign. We're going to change the gear to switch B and go back. And now I think we had to do that within so many seconds of turning the airplane on. So we're going to go ahead and re-energize the airplane. What we're doing is we're assigning our safe select switch. Okay. So it's definitely in safe mode. Why? Oh, I know what's going on. Yep. There we go. Okay, and then the last little bit is to get our elevator hooked up. We'll throw this stand back up here. But like I said, we do have a bad aileron servo, and that makes me sad. So we will not be able to take this guy to Florida like I wanted to. I'm just getting the clevis adjusted here for the elevator. Okay, so we're all ready to go. We just got one bad right aileron. That sucks. All right. So, unfortunately, we have a bad aileron servo, but I want to test the elevator. Yep, we got good elevator movement, good rudder movement. Oh well. Well, the servo lead BD Tennessee on this guy, the servo lead is on the inside of the wing, and it all goes into a Y connector. So I can check and see what's going on there, see if I can't figure that out. Let me turn on the throttle cut. Fred Barron, how you doing? I mean, if the servo leads backwards, that was done at the factory, so that'd be embarrassing. Yep, so for the ailerons, we've just got both sides coming into a single connection. So there's obviously a Y, and I don't know how far up the Y goes, if it goes like through the nacelle. Let me see if I can see that. I think there's supposed to be a little pop cover here. At least I thought there was supposed to be a little pop-off cover where you could get to the ESC real easy. But I'm not seeing it. They got like a little cover here with double sticky tape on it that covers up all the wiring going out to the servos. Don't it make you mad when you get a brand new plane and you have to like do this kind of crap? Alright, so here's our connector that goes to the aileron servo. It wasn't plugged in all the way. It wasn't plugged in all the way. Yes! Since I went through all that trouble. We're taping it in. Taping it in. I get all them wires re-embedded into the wing so I can put that little cover back on there. All right, here we go. So getting that little cover back in position is a tedious little task. All right, I think we are back in business, or just in business, period. Okay. I think the only thing we got left is to pop in the little wing struts. We'll just tighten that thumb screw down. That's good. Flip it over. And put in our wing struts, which look like they go right here. And pop into the bottom of the nacelles. Bam. And we got another one here. Bam. So now I think we're good to go. Well, let me check that right aileron. So to anybody who said something like, hey, you know, make sure the wire's not reversed. It wasn't reversed, but it was plugged in back, or not plugged in all the way. So thank you for that suggestion. Thumbs up to all of you folks who made that recommendation. We're gonna kind of slide all our tools and stuff onto the tray and get this thing sitting down on the table. Because it just looks good. And we'll get that manual out the way and look at some twin otter action. The flaps are good to go. So I already checked the flaps. The flaps are good. Let's see. You guys may not be able to see that, but can y'all see them moving? Yep, the only thing that was giving me problems was that right aileron. And the right aileron looks like it is now good to go. It does have that new plane smell. Do you have to calibrate these ESCs? I'll try it. They're E-Flight ESCs. You normally don't have to calibrate these guys, but let's see. I'll do it. Fine. Y'all giving me hell about calibrating the ESC. Let's do this. I'm gonna do that again. crazy. I love the props. I'm such a huge fan of the props on the Twin Otter. The way you can see the little stripes. That's awesome. Alright, we're gonna go for the full throttle run. Y'all ready for this? I am. It sounds awesome. Alright, so everything now is good to go. I'm assuming that's all the throws I get. You don't need much for a little bitty plane like this. Awesome. So, I know that there were some guys out there that were saying that they've got Twin Otters. Let me make sure I'm on. Yep. Alright, so we got the thing in throttle cut. So that's good. I don't want to get sliced up by these little things. I know that there were some people out there that have the E-Flight Twin Otter. So for those of you guys that do have the E-Flight Twin Otter, tell me about it. You know, I just got this. I mean, we just took it out of the box and built it like just now. So tell me what you guys think about the E-Flight Twin Otter. So let me see. The flap to elevator mix is already there. It actually looks a little funky. So it looks like it gives me a little bit of down elevator at half flaps, but when I go to full flaps, it goes back. So I will need to check that mix. So thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, Jeff Adams, it doesn't take long to put this thing together. You know, and I'm like showing you guys all the parts and stuff. If nobody, you know, if you're not looking at the parts, I mean, it takes 20, 30 minutes to get it together. BD Tennessee, I did check the I did use the template that was built into the NX10, which that's super convenient. But it looks like the flap to elevator mix. There's only a flap to elevator mix at half flaps, at takeoff flaps. There is no elevator mix when you go into landing flaps. The elevator goes back to neutral. So that's pretty odd. Yeah, and I've seen them fly, and the ones that I've seen, you know, at my field flying, they look like they fly fantastic. Let me look at the book and see what the book says for a flap to elevator mix. I mean, that's normally what I go by is... Yeah, it's saying for position 2 that I should have a 35% elevator mix. And I'm seeing it go back to neutral. So I'm going to check the flap system. And I bet you, yeah, so I've got the 25% at takeoff flaps, but at position 2, I've only got, it's at 0%. So there was no elevator mix set. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the book. I'm going to set that up at a 35% elevator mix for position 2, and that has me kind of questioning like all the settings now. So I'm gonna go back and double check everything now. Yeah, so it is 25% at half and 35% at full, but the template that was in the NX10 had 25% at half and 0% flap to elevator mix at full. So I'm glad I went and double checked that. That's true, Airvexed. But what's interesting is, yes, the manual does say to get it online, but this, the manual that came with this one, it's not the manual that came with the original Otter. So if it was, the receiver would be showing an AR637T, but in this one, it shows the AR631. So they have updated the manual for the new version of the Twin Otter that comes with the AR631, but it does not, you know, the template for the NX series at least doesn't have the flap to elevator mix set right. And it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, it's not super critical. I'd have figured it out. Yeah, BD Tennessee, that, you know, there's a reason that I put out my own video on how to create the model in your NX series radio for the DRACO. And it's because I've never trusted those templates. I wanted to try it out tonight, you know, because we're live streaming and whatever, and it's just a quick, dirty, easy way to get everything set up. But clearly, my intuition was not wrong. Like, I normally set all these up manually. And I go by the book. It takes a little longer, but I know that everything is right and everything is set the way that I want it to be. So, I mean, I just don't trust those template files, man. And this kind of solidifies that. So, you know, I'm going to go through and review everything to make sure that it's all correct. Now, you know, I'm kind of afraid. Like, what if there's other things in here that are wrong? George Watts, what's going on? Yeah, Deuces, I doubt that I will need Lyndon Stewart. How are you doing, my friend? I was telling everybody the awesome things that we were able to do for you. I don't know if you've heard yet, but all of the items that we're going to be sending down to you, thanks to all of the very generous contributions that were made by the community here at the RC Air Marshal YouTube channel. We've got Lyndon Stewart down here. He is our fellow RC pilot. He lives in Guyana, South America. If I'm saying that wrong, you know, let me know. But Lyndon, I mean, it's just extremely difficult for him to get new models. The exchange rate in South America is absolutely horrendous. So we decided that we were going to do a fundraiser so we could share, you know, the good fortune that we have as Americans, and share that with Lyndon Stewart. And Lyndon, I'm super happy to tell you, since you're here, I can let you know live that not only do we have a DRACO coming your way. So I've already ordered it. I don't know if it has shipped yet. I don't get the shipping notices because they're not coming to me. So I need to check and make sure and see what shipped and what hasn't. But not only were we able to get you the DRACO, I was originally wanting to get you the DRACO Ultimate package. We got the DRACO. It's coming your way. Already bought. We have an NX10 transmitter, just like this one. The brand new NX series NX10 transmitter is coming your way, brother. We have a Spectrum S2200 2-channel, 200 watt per channel smart charger coming your way. And we've also got two 6S 5000 milliamp hour 50C battery packs for the DRACO, all coming your way. courtesy of the fine community and the contributions that they have made in order for us to share the love of RC from America down to our brother in South America. So I just want to, to let you know firsthand what we were able to accomplish, and how much I really just absolutely love this community and what we're able to do for folks all around the world. That is awesome. That is awesome. So we're not over the hill yet. But I also, Lyndon, the other thing that is also super cool is Rich M, one of our community members. He lives near Miami. So we're shipping everything to Rich M because all of it was on back order. As it comes off back order and starts shipping, he's going to allow us to use his home as a staging area for all of the batteries, the transmitter, the charger, the airplane. Once everything gets there, he's going to repackage all of it for international shipping, and he's going to take it to the shipping forwarder down in Miami. So all of the arrangements are made. We're just waiting for everything to get in, and as soon as it does, we're going to be able to get all of this stuff to you, and I couldn't be happier. I hope that when you get it, that you share with us everything that you're able to, because I'm super excited for you to get this stuff. Unfortunately, with the DRACO and the back order situation, I mean, it could be a while before you get it, buddy. But just keep in mind we have it. It is on order. It's paid for, and as soon as it gets down to Miami, we're gonna get all of the stuff repackaged for international shipping and get it over to the shipping forwarder in Miami and get it to you. John Graham, I did not, because they are also on back order with Lord knows how long. Yeah, Airvex, I've got templates that I've made for bind and fly airplanes, because I basically set up every bind and fly airplane the same, and the only thing that's ever different is like flap to elevator mixes, and maybe flat positions. But as far as like the dual rates, expo settings, all of that stuff, I mean, I'm pretty much the same no matter what. And I'm just going to start doing that from now on. There was a reason that I don't use the Spectrum templates. The last one I used was all jacked up. This one is, I'm not going to use them, man. I'd rather... Lyndon Stewart, you got it, buddy. Just when we need honey from South America, you got to hook us up, because we don't have any bees in North America. So you got to send us some honey. You scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours. You know what I'm saying? Ken Sprouse, it's been a long time. They obviously are doing updates periodically, and especially with the NX series radios. Now that all those model files are included on the NX series radios, and who had mentioned that? I think Micah had mentioned that the IX series, so like your IX12, IX20, now include those template files right on the radio as well. Every update that comes out, you would think that they'd update that list, but I remember when it was on the Spectrum site and I was doing like the AR636 series, I would download those templates and compare them, you know, to how I set up the airplane to see, like, are my settings close to what Spectrum had? And those templates for the transmitters, they always seemed like they were about a year behind. You know, like whatever models have come out in the last year, they weren't on there yet, which was kind of weird. You know, it just is what it is. But yes, they are behind. I love them props. Yes. This is when bad things happen. Nothing good can happen right now. Yes. Look at the props. This thing is so cool. Yeah, right, Fred. You are getting very sleepy. Bob Turner, I did not have any issues with the gains on the E-Flight Viper. The only thing that I wanted on the E-Flight Viper that wasn't there out of the factory was I wanted more aileron throw. So I moved my aileron control rods to the innermost control horn to maximize the amount of throw I was getting out of the ailerons, because it felt a little, you know, anemic in the roll rates. But moving it to the inner hole on the aileron control rods livened that plane up a lot. So, you know, now the E-Flight Viper, that thing is a lot of fun with the control rods on the ailerons moved. Roach Coach, this plane can utilize, it's a 3S airplane, so not 4S compatible. It is 3S only, and it only uses 3S 2200 all the way up to 3S 3300. I'm probably going to see how it runs on the 2200, what kind of flight times I get out of it, because it is a pretty small airframe. If it can carry a 3300, which I'm sure that it can, or they wouldn't even recommend it. So let's look. I mean, the thing is balancing great with a 2200 in there. And, you know, I know some people like their airplanes slightly nose heavy. I'm completely the opposite. You know, do I recommend what I'm about to say? Absolutely not. So don't listen to this if you're a beginner. But if you're an experienced pilot, you'll understand. I prefer my planes to be slightly nose up on the CG. So when I CG them at the recommended CG point, I don't want them level. I want them to be just slightly nose up, you know, about a degree. You know, we're not talking like seriously tail heavy, but right on that ragged edge of the CG and tail heavy. You know, just ever so slightly tail heavy, enough where the nose is tilting up just a bit. And that makes it where when I slow that plane down, I'm not going to lose my elevator authority. If you got too much weight in the nose, when you slow that plane down, you're going to be pushing that tail back so much, you know, and when you're especially on a plane like this, where I want You know, I don't want to 3-point this airplane. If I bring this airplane down and 3-point it, or if I put it in nose first, I mean, that's a bad day. So this is an airplane that I definitely want to flare as I'm bringing it in, right? So if you have it ever so slightly tail heavy, so when it's balanced, I mean, instead of being balanced like this, it's balanced a little bit nose up. That'll make it where I've got a lot more forgiveness. I've got a lot more elevator authority as I'm coming into land, you know, and I can bring that tail down and get it right on those mains, feather it down, and just let the front settle down as the throttle comes down. So that's what I like, is just slightly aft CG. Just slightly. But everybody else, you know, that is something that I would not recommend if you're a beginner pilot. If you're, you know, a beginner pilot, or you're not comfortable, you know, with the plane being a little bit kind of loose on the elevator, then, you know, either balance it correct or give yourself, you know, a couple of degrees of nose heavy attitude. Yeah, Boss 223, I found that I like all of my airplanes to be just slightly nose high when I CG them. You know, if I'm a little bit nose down, I mean, I'd rather it either be right at level or just a tad bit nose high at the CG point, because I'm crazy. Yep, I like this little airplane. This thing is neat looking. It's really a good looking plane. And what's odd is, I mean, I've seen a dozen of them, right? But I've never seen one like, I've never like held one in my hand and really looked at it, you know? I mean, this is a nice plane. It's good looking. I like the lines. It's, you know, it looks like a classic Sea Otter. Or not a Sea Otter, a classic a Twin Otter. I mean, it's a good looking plane. Oh, Lyndon, this is absolutely not the Hangar 9 Twin Otter. This is... That's right, Michael Bear. Bow chicka brown cow. This is the E-Flight Twin Otter. The Hangar 9 Twin Otter, you could stick like 4 of these inside the fuselage of the Hangar 9 Twin Otter. It's not that much bigger, but I mean, the fuselage on the Hangar 9 Twin Otter is at least twice as long as this guy. The Hangar 9 Twin Otter is massive. That's a big, big airplane. Yes, Matt M. Matt M knows what I'm talking about. All right, guys. So it is 10 o'clock, which means that Gooniac is going to be going live here in 15 minutes. Man, I hope that I was able to cover everything that I wanted to share tonight. I hope everybody got to take a look at the Van Halen Mustang. If you missed the beginning of the show, you'll have to go back and watch it again. We got the E-Flight Twin Otter built. That was kind of a special guest appearance of the Twin Otter tonight. We showed you guys the Ernst stands. So guys, if you're interested in anything that you saw tonight, the Urge trays, the Urge stands, be sure to go and check out BitGo Hobby. So go to rcairmarshal.com, click on BitGo Hobby. You can pick up the Urge trays, the tool trays. You can pick up the Urge stands, all of the dyno models, Tomcat motors, Detram electronics. They're starting to get their hands on some Dancing Wing foam, plug and play stuff. So they've got a balsa plug and play stuff. So they've got a Dancing Wing storch that's really cool, balsa plug and play, and they also have a Dancing Wing. Oh, what is the new one? They've got a Dancing Wing stick, like an ugly stick. That is fantastic. You got to go check that out. That is at BitGo Hobby. BitGo Hobby also has Red Cat. So if you want a Red Cat crawler, that is your place to get one. And they just started carrying HSD as well. So if you're interested in any of the HSD jets, including the awesome new HSD ME262, go check them out at BitGo Hobby. Go over to rcairmarshal.com. Click on BitGo Hobby and see all the new stuff they have in stock. They are getting new stuff all the time. So check them out, man. Also, we talked about the FMS Stand. We talked about the model box in Hoover, Alabama. Google that. Google the model box. Get their phone number. If you have anything that you're looking for that might be Horizon Hobby that's discontinued, maybe you're looking for something that's been out of stock for a while. The model box in Hoover, Alabama has all kinds of stuff. They were at the fly-in that I was at this past weekend. They've got just a ton of options, a ton of products in stock, just waiting for people. They do a ton of mail orders. They don't charge tax out of state. I think they serve they have a very nominal shipping rate. We've got quite a few guys that use them already, and the folks in Birmingham absolutely love them. You can call and talk to Jeremy. Tell him you talked to the RC Air Marshal. You're not going to get any kind of discount, and he might make fun of you for watching my show, but that's okay. Jeremy's a cool guy, and he absolutely has some awesome stuff at his disposal there at the Model Box in Hoover, Alabama. So check them out. Pilot Ryan all-electric fly-in 2 days, starting on Wednesday. Pilot Ryan all-electric fly-in at the Imperial RC Club in Mulberry, Florida. You guys absolutely want to be there. It'll be awesome. You're going to have tons and tons of folks that are going to be there, right? So lots of folks that we see here. We've got Barry Campbell, who's going to be at the Pilot Ryan all-electric fly-in. Obviously, Pilot Ryan's going to be there. Bobby Committa from BitGo Hobby's going to be there. We're going to have myself, Mary Boozers, RC Informer, Jeff in Lower Alabama, Hangar 51. All kinds of people converging in on Mulberry, Florida at the Imperial RC Club. It's going to be fantastic. So if you're in the Tampa area or can get to the Tampa area, even if you want to just come by, if it's within a couple of hours, it's going to be worth it to just come on down, say hi. We'll let you fly one of our planes if you're an AMA member. Maybe. But, man, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have the crazy air races. So if you want to come down and just be a spectator for the budget Reno Racer airplanes like this awesome Dynam P-51, if you don't know the story behind this one, man, head on down to Mulberry, Florida and figure out what it's all about, because this thing was made to haul the mail, son. I expect this airplane to go 140 miles an hour plus, as long as it stays in one piece. Anyway, fellas, I'm going to get going. Gooniac Showing live in like 9 minutes. I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. We will see you all next Monday at the same time. And expect to see some live at 5 broadcasts from the event starting on Friday. I'm not going to be getting down to Florida until Friday. I've got some family things I'm doing on Thursday, right? So I'm going to be heading down first thing Friday morning, maybe even late Thursday night. So when we get there, we will start doing the live at 5 broadcasts. And the last one will probably be Sunday before we check out and start heading back to Atlanta. Just be ready. There's all kinds of awesome stuff coming your way. I've got maiden flights of the DRACO coming to the channel. I've got maiden flights of the Spitfire from Flightline. I've got flights of the Arrows Husky that are on the way. I've got flights from the I just wanted to mention one more thing before I take off. And this was really cool. When we were at the Bigfoot fly-in, which was the name of the fly-in from at the Birmingham RC Association, which, by the way, super great group of guys there. At that club, I brought the Dynam Hawker Hunter, and because, you know, I mean, these guys invited me down there. They, you know, just, they provided me with accommodations. They fed me. They gave me beer, you know, not while we were flying, but the night before. I mean, it was just an awesome time all around. My experience there was fantastic. So I decided, after I maidened the Dynam Hawker Hunter, we had a successful maiden flight, that I was going to give the plane away. So we did the Dynam Hawker Hunter. I got it filmed, and I will have that upcoming on the channel as well. So we got lots of content coming your way. I probably won't get a chance to start publishing that content until after the fly-in. So just keep an eye out on the channel, man. Obviously, we're going to have this little guy flying. We've still got to do a maiden on the Dynam Grand Cruiser, which I hope to bring down to Mulberry with us. So another smaller, very affordable twin, just like the Twin Otter. We've got lots of stuff inbound, so just keep your eyes on the channel, guys. We're going to have lots of neat stuff coming up. And lots of content in the pipeline for the NX10. This was another one of those where I didn't want to drop them one at a time. I kind of wanted to do the 636 dump, just blow it up, because I think the NX series is going to be around possibly for years and years and years and years and years and years to come. So when I drop the videos for the NX series, I just kind of want to just do a dump. It's probably going to be like 20, 30 just quick videos, but just bleh, and have them all in the playlist. So anyway, guys, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you all next week. RCAirMarshal.com is the place to go if you need to buy anything RC. Check all of our affiliate partners out. Everything you need RC. Amazon, Banggood, BitGo, Horizon. This plane right here, if you're interested, that's where to get it. You guys are awesome. We will see you all maybe tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you over in Gooniac Show.